Trump demands NATO action on Russian oil before U.S. sanctions. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has reportedly issued a significant ultimatum to member countries of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, demanding that they take decisive action regarding the import and consumption of Russian oil before the United States considers implementing any further sanctions. This declaration, if confirmed and acted upon, introduces a substantial new dimension to the international response to Russia's ongoing aggression, and could profoundly reshape the alliance's collective strategy. Trump's hardline stance suggests a deliberate pivot towards placing a greater burden on European allies to drastically reduce their reliance on Russian energy supplies. Such a move would undoubtedly carry immense economic and political ramifications across the continent, forcing a rapid re-evaluation of national energy policies, procurement strategies, and existing supply chains within NATO nations, many of which still depend on Russian hydrocarbons to varying degrees for their energy security. Rubio lands in Israel ahead of Netanyahu meeting on Hamas war, Gaza City operation. Senator Marco Rubio arrived in Israel today for critical discussions with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu regarding the ongoing conflict with Hamas and the current military operation in Gaza City. This high-stakes visit comes as international pressure mounts for a de-escalation of hostilities and increased humanitarian aid to the region. Rubio's agenda is expected to focus on assessing Israel's military strategy, reiterating U.S. support for Israel's security, and exploring potential diplomatic pathways to a lasting ceasefire. Airlines suspend employees over posts about Kirk shooting. Washington, Delta Air Lines, American Airlines and United Airlines say they have suspended workers for social media posts about last week's fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk. We were made aware of Delta employees whose social media content related to the recent murder of activist Charlie Kirk went well beyond healthy, respectful debate, Delta CEO Ed Bastian said in an internal memo shared with CNN. These social posts stand in stark contrast to our values and our social media policy, and these employees have been suspended pending an investigation, Bastian said in the memo. In a statement, American Airlines says some employees who posted to promote such violence on social media were immediately removed from service. Is the Fed behind the curve again? Interest rate cut anticipated amid labor market concerns. This week, America's central bankers are confronted with an all-too-familiar question: is it already too late to step in? In just a few days, the central bank is expected to lower interest rates for the first time since December to shore up America's crumbling labor market. Unusually weak hiring in recent months has locked in a rate cut, according to futures, with perhaps a few more by year's end. But some central bankers, namely Fed Governors Christopher Waller and Michelle Bowman, both appointed by President Donald Trump, say the Fed should have cut interest rates in July, echoing Trump's loud demands to lower borrowing costs. Trump administration continues push to dismiss Fed official. The Trump administration on Sunday renewed its request to a federal appeals court to fire Lisa Cook, a Federal Reserve governor, who has faced political scrutiny in recent weeks. The move comes ahead of the independent central bank's vote on interest rates this week. President Donald Trump has repeatedly called for the Fed to slash interest rates while publicly targeting Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The Trump administration called Cook's claims to stay on the board meritless, adding that concerns over whether Cook misrepresented her finances pose concerns as to whether Cook can be trusted to act with forthrightness, care, and disinterest in managing the U.S. money supply. Bond market signals growing fear despite stock market highs. New York, while the stock market hovers near record highs, a shift in the bond market is signaling mounting concerns about the economy's health. A bevy of data this month showed the labor market is on shakier ground than previously thought. That spurred a rally in bonds as investors sought safe havens, and ramped up bets that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates this week. As bonds rallied, it pushed yields lower. The 2-year Treasury yield this month hit its lowest level since 2022, and the 10-year yield hit its lowest level since April, when President Donald Trump announced an unprecedented tariff campaign that sparked fears of an economic slowdown. The decline in Treasury yields shows markets are adjusting to the reality of a weaker-than-expected job market, and expectations for potentially subdued economic growth. Terence "Bud" Crawford makes history with victory over Canelo Alvarez. Terence "Bud" Crawford has once again etched his name into boxing history, securing a monumental victory over Canelo Alvarez to become the undisputed super middleweight champion, in a highly anticipated bout that showcased tactical brilliance and relentless determination. Crawford outmaneuvered and outboxed the formidable Alvarez, delivering a performance that has solidified his status as one of boxing's pound-for-pound elite. Spirit grinds out draw with Kansas City in top-of-the-table clash. In a highly anticipated top-of-the-table clash, the Washington Spirit battled to a hard-fought draw against Kansas City, showcasing their resilience and determination in a tightly contested match. The game, which was critical for both teams in their pursuit of the league title, saw intense back-and-forth action with neither side willing to concede an inch. The Spirit's defense was tested repeatedly by Kansas City's potent offense, but they held firm, demonstrating impressive composure under pressure. 77th Primetime Emmy Awards celebrate television's best with historic wins. The 77th Primetime Emmy Awards saw adolescence make history as its 15-year-old star, Owen Cooper, became the youngest Emmy winner in a major category. Creator Stephen Graham also secured a significant victory. The studio was honored as the Outstanding Comedy Series, and veteran comedian Stephen Colbert took home the award for Outstanding Variety Talk Series. Noah Weil was recognized as Outstanding Lead Actor in a drama for The Pit, hosted by Nate Bargatze. The ceremony aimed to offer an escape from political tensions, culminating in a heartwarming tribute to The Golden Girls on its 40th anniversary. Box office successes and industry buzz. Demon Slayer dominates, Hamnet wins TIFF Award. The film industry saw Demon Slayer: Infinity Castle achieve a remarkable $70 million opening, while The Conjuring sequel experienced a slight dip to second place. Hamnet was honored with the Toronto International Film Festival's TIFF People's Choice Award, adding to its critical acclaim and signaling its potential for broader recognition. Archaeologists uncover significant discovery near biblical Pool of Siloam in Israel. Archaeologists recently discovered a massive, nearly 2,800-year-old dam near Jerusalem's Pool of Siloam, a site where Christians believe Jesus healed a blind man. The structure, called the largest dam of its kind ever found in Israel, was built during the First Temple period in response to ancient droughts and flash floods, showcasing advanced engineering that supported the Pool of Siloam's hydraulic system and provided water for the city. The discovery has been described as one of the most impressive and significant First Temple period remains in Jerusalem.